Nicolo Bulega is about to become a full-time MotoGP rider, and Ducati has spent months making sure he does it on their terms, not his. Toprak Razgatlioglu made the same jump out of World Superbike and walked into Pramac Yamaha holding 2 guaranteed years. Bulega is being handed one, with the second hanging on an option he has to earn. Same paddock, same era, 2 completely different levels of protection. And here is the part nobody is saying out loud. He already rejected this exact structure once. So what moved between then and now? And why is the rider who has dominated World Superbike all season the one getting less? This is not a routine rookie contract. 2027 is the biggest technical reset MotoGP has run in more than 20 years. Engines drop to 850 cubic centimetres. Fuel drops to 20 litres. Ride height devices are gone, the aerodynamics shrink, and Michelin walks away after a decade as sole supplier, replaced by Pirelli across the entire grid. Every manufacturer is about to discover that most of what they know about tyre behaviour is worth far less. A contract signed for that season is not just a job, it is a place in the queue for information. And Bulega's place in that queue is the whole story. Start with what actually happened, because the timeline is where this gets uncomfortable. Ducati and VR46 put a 1+1 in front of him. 1 guaranteed season in 2027. An option on 2028. His camp turned it down. They did not want a first season raced under the pressure of earning year 2, and they were not wrong to. Then, on the 11th and 12th of July, the German press and part of the Italian press reported the 1+1 was dead, and the talks had moved toward 2 firm years. Sky Sport Italia said the opposite that same week, and reporting on the 26th of July says the deal he is taking is the 1+1 after all. The same structure he refused. The same pressure he said he did not want. And it is still not signed. As of the 22nd of July, that VR46 seat was still being listed as Nicolo Bulega or Luca Marini, not Bulega. Bulega or. He has been Ducati's preferred name since spring. He has been saying since early July that he is close and still cannot get it in ink. That gap is not administrative. Because Bulega told us what this would cost him before he agreed to pay it. Speaking in July, with the deal still live, he was blunt in a way riders almost never are mid-negotiation. As a rookie, you have to accept things in your first year that a top rider doesn't have to put up with. Then he went further. I'll have to make some sacrifices in the first year, and I'm not just talking about money, it's about everything. Hear what that actually is. That is not excitement, that is a man taking inventory of his own leverage and finding the shelf empty. He knew before the first meeting that the price of a Premier Class seat would be paid in things other than salary, and he said so publicly, which is what somebody does when he has already accepted the answer. And, oh yeah, there is one more piece of this that barely made the front page. Tommaso Raponi, the crew chief beside him through the Superbike years, is not coming. VR46 want one of their own 2 crew chiefs on Bulega instead. So the rookie with 1 guaranteed season walks into a full-time Premier Class seat and a brand new bike without the one person who knows how he works. Now the part everybody framed as ego. Bulega pushed for a guarantee that he would always get the newest spec, that he would not be the second bike in his own garage. It got written up as a rookie making demands. It is not a demand. It is a survival clause, and VR46 already told us why. In early July, announcing their extended Ducati deal, the team spelled the garage out. It will run 1 factory spec bike, which will receive technical updates throughout the season, and 1 standard spec non-factory bike. 2 riders, 2 different bikes. And Fermin Aldeguer, on the other side of that garage, is contracted directly to Ducati. So run the arithmetic Bulega had to run. 1 guaranteed year to prove himself, against a teammate contracted to the factory, in a team that has confirmed one of its 2 bikes is not the good one. If he draws the standard machine and loses, the option quietly goes unused, and nobody has to explain why. He is paying in cash too. He earns around €700,000 a year plus bonuses in Superbike, and his MotoGP deal will not be top tier. all of which would be easier to understand if he were a project. He is not. 3 weeks ago at Misano, at Ducati's own centenary celebration, Bulega took pole, led every lap, and beat every MotoGP rider there, Francesco Bagnaia included, by more than 7 seconds. Identical machinery, a Panigale 4 tricolour for everyone, MotoGP and Superbike riders in the same fight. He beat them on Ducati's weekend, in front of Ducati's people, and still could not extract a second guaranteed year. So why, watching that, would Ducati still refuse? Because they are not buying what everybody assumes they are buying. Go back to the reset. In 2027, the whole grid moves to Pirelli, and every rider, engineer and dataset in MotoGP restarts from close to zero. Nobody on the MotoGP side carries years of Pirelli race data, except the people who spent their careers in World Superbike, which is where Bulega has been, on Pirellis, winning. And this was in the open. While the negotiation was still running, Italian reporting said Ducati's preference was to keep Bulega in Superbike precisely so they could use his tyre knowledge developing the 850cc prototype. That was the plan. Not a promotion. A development asset kept where it was most useful. He got the promotion instead. But look at the shape of the deal and ask which version of that plan won. One guaranteed season, starting the moment the new rules and the new tyre arrive, with a second year that depends on him proving it fast enough. People thought Bulega had finally won his MotoGP seat. He did not win a seat. He was leased into one at the precise moment his knowledge is worth more to Ducati than his long-term future is. Here is where it lands. Razgatlioglu got 2 guaranteed years because he signed as the reigning World Superbike champion, and you do not hand that man a trial. Bulega is getting one because Ducati does not need a rider. They already have 6 bikes on the grid and a factory lineup. What they need is somebody who can tell them what Pirelli rubber does under an 850cc bike before their rivals work it out. That is not an insult to his speed. His speed was never the question, and Misano settled it in public. It is a statement about role. Razgatlioglu was hired as a signing. Bulega is hired as an instrument, and instruments get renewed only while they are still useful. The part that should worry anyone who wants him to succeed is that he understands all of it. He said so himself before the ink, before an announcement that still has not arrived. He is signing anyway, because when a factory offers you the premier class at 26, you do not negotiate from strength. You say yes. So the question was never whether Bulega is fast enough. It is whether one season is enough to prove it on a bike he might not even be given. Or has Ducati already decided what he is for? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.